What's up, people? Coming to you back, this time from the beach. I'm gonna have a swim right now. And this video is about, in the same series that we're talking about goal achieving, and it's about a very important topic that if you do not understand, you will be making huge mistakes in your goal achieving journey. And this is about decision making. Nobody has ever taught you how to make a decision. Oh, is there a science behind making decisions? Is there something behind making decisions? You just don't. Yes, you don't know how to make decisions. Nobody told you how to make decisions. You don't understand what is a good decision, what is a bad decision. Let me talk to you about something. Napoleon Hill, the guy that studied the most successful people on the planet and wrote the philosophy of success. He's the author of Think and Grow Rich, one of his most famous books. And in his studies, he studied successful people for 20 years, and then he came to different conclusions. One of these conclusions that he wrote about in his writings is that successful people have the habit of making decisions promptly and decisively, and changing these decisions, if they were changed, and very rarely they change them, very progressively and slowly. This is the successful people. This is the people we want to look up to. This is the people we want to learn from. On the other hand, the unsuccessful people, they take decisions very slowly, extremely slowly, and then they change them promptly. Often they change them promptly after making those decisions. Why is that? Why these guys behave in the complete opposite way to these guys? What's going on? If we understand this, we're going to take a great lesson today that's going to serve us in our goal achieving journey. Okay? Let me explain to you why. I mean, if you've been watching my videos, this series about goal achieving, you should already have an idea on why. You should already understand why, or at least have an idea. So, successful people, they make those. Okay, let's talk about the unsuccessful first. The unsuccessful people, they make decisions whenever they make them, if they make them. This is if they gather the balls to make a decision. Very slowly. Very, very slowly. Why is that? Why do you think is that? Because they're full of fear, bro. Because they are full of fear. Because there is fear there. They see something they like. They heard a motivational freaking video, right? And they said, you know what, I'm gonna go for that thing. But then when they're about to take the jump, because every great goal will take you to make a jump. It's gonna require from you to take a jump, take a step, a brave step, something. You know what I mean? So whenever they get to the point that they're gonna make the step forward, they freeze. Fear takes in. The old paradigm takes in. The old programming takes over. Sorry, and they're like, they're hesitant. They take days and weeks and months, maybe years, to make that decision. It's like the guy who wants to talk to the girl that he likes. He sees something in that girl and he wants to talk. Maybe it's gonna be his wife. He's like, should I go? Should I? Should I go? Should I not go? Like the guy who wants to take a jump from the cliff. You know, he's like, come on, jump, jump. The moment he comes to the cliff and he wants to jump, he freezes. That's the old paradigm. That's the old subconscious programming. So the people that take decisions this way, very slowly, very timidly, this is the people that have no awareness. They have fear. They see the outside circumstances and they let the outside circumstances dictate the way they think, dictate the way they feel about everything. Their faith is based upon what's going outside. They don't have understanding. They don't understand that. They do not understand the laws of the universe. They do not understand the laws of God. They do not have self-confidence, nor self-reliance, nor discipline. They just, oh, can I make it? Can I not? This fear, doubt. How the hell are they going to make a decision? If they gather the courage because somebody kicked them in the ass, then they take the decision. Oh, they're still scared and shit. Because there's fear, there's no understanding. And then when they make the decision, because there is still the same, they didn't change, there is that fear there and there's that ignorance there, and they're living from outside in, they let the circumstances dictate what they think they can do and they can't do. When they make the decision, start moving forward, they quickly change the decision, because the moment they're hit by adversity, the moment they see something wrong, something that is not aligned with what they thought is going to happen, that's it. They freak out again. They freak out and flip and go away and move and run away. This is the unsuccessful people. This is the people that never move ahead in life. You know, and you can have fear in a certain area. Maybe you can be brave in one area, but you can have fear in another area. You know what I mean? Or you can have a negative conditioning, negative subconscious conditioning in another area. Okay, like the people that have money, maybe successful in business, but they're fat as fuck. They have a negative subconscious conditioning in this department, health department, and they won't just make the decision to get fit. They can't make it. And when they make the decision to get fit, they start moving forward, they shrink back. It's like this. On the other hand, our friends, our brothers in knowledge, the successful individuals, they make decisions promptly and decisively. Why is that? Because they have awareness. They understand the laws of God. They understand the laws of the universe. They understand that any idea that the mind conceive, it can achieve. Any idea that you put in your head, that you live with it emotionally, that you start acting on it, like if you were deserving of that final outcome, it will ultimately manifest slowly through your experience, through the action that you take, and through the attraction that is coming from the universe. Doesn't matter if you don't have the resources right now. The resources will show up when the decision is made. The resources will not show up if you do not make the decisions. The universe does not reward the coward. You know what I mean? It does not reward the coward. You will not see the way to get to your goal if you do not, first of all, make the decision and take the first step and start moving forward like a freaking man. Do you understand? Or a freaking woman. If you don't do that, you're not going to see the results. So these people, the successful, our friends, they understand this concept. They have this awareness. They have self-belief. They have self-reliance. They have awareness. They understand the laws of the universe. So they take that decision. They see that circumstances are not favorable. They don't give a shit about that. They take the decision. They know what they want. First of all, their goal is a worthwhile goal. They have the proper goals. Okay, so when they make the decision is final. I want that. I don't want option B and C and fucking D. I want option A. That's what I'm shooting for. I don't give a fuck about nothing else. Sorry about that. I get excited a little bit when I talk about this, because it's very important. It makes a difference between somebody living a proper life and somebody living like shit. Anyways, so he wants option A. He doesn't give a shit about any other option. Okay, he's going for that option A. That's it. So the decision is final. Why the hell would he change the decision later? Even when he's met with adversity, adversity challenges, he's not going to shrink back, because that's the only option he wants. He does not want another option. He does not play safe. He have understanding. He have awareness. He does not play safe. He's not going to play safe. You understand? This is the difference. And this is why they do not change those decisions once they're made. The decision is final and decisive. They're decisive about what they're doing. And even if they make the decision, the change is very, very progressive and slow. If they make the change, they do not. Normally, they do not change. They know what they want because they have a proper goal, an A-type goal, and they're going for it, and that's it. Nothing else matters. They have understanding. Okay, that is why they behave completely different from the other guys. And this is how we have to learn to make decisions if we want to move ahead in life. If you are waiting for everything to be perfect in order to move, if you are waiting to have money in order to hire the coach, if you are waiting for your circumstances, for your environment to change in order to move to the city, start a business, it's not going to happen. When you make a prompt and decisive decision, you flip your mind. You flip your mind to another frequency, to the frequency of the good you want, of the final outcome. And then you will start seeing things that will bring you closer to that final outcome. Your vibration has to match your desired outcome. If not, and if you didn't make the decision, it means you're not matching that. Simple as that. You will understand it more if you see the other videos, previous videos, and you see the next videos that come into this channel. That's why it's very important to have someone that have this type of understanding, that has this type of courage, that is speaking from freaking experience, that he has experienced these things, have complete belief in what he's talking about, and understands the difficulties and the mental trips and the mental traps that you will fall into when you're about to when you're going towards your goal. So that's why it's very important to have somebody who can guide you through that. Okay, guys, and that's it. That's the idea today. Make decisions. Learn how to make decisions. Okay, Napoleon Hill, I think, in Think and Grow Rich, he have one chapter. No, not one chapter. He have like he talks about decision making. Maybe he have a chapter. If I'm not mistaken, about decision making. Study the subject. Understand that you don't need to have everything figured out at the start. Act like the successful people. Understand, believe in yourself, work on yourself so you can have the courage to make the decision without having the support. The support will come later. This reminds me of something that the head of the father of the Spaces program, like Dr. Von something, von van Braun. He was at the time the top scientist, the head of the space program in the U.S. in the time of President. I'm not sure if it's Kennedy or Roosevelt. I think Roosevelt. And the president asked him, "What would it take to put a man on a ship and take him to the moon and bring him safely back to Earth?" And the Professor Braun answered him in 2 words: "The will to do it." Fuck. He told him, what would it take? It will take the will to do it. It means if you have the will, if you understand, if you're strong enough, you have belief, you can do it. He didn't know. He didn't know how to do it. He had no idea, but he knows that it's possible. As long as we can think about it, we want it, it's there. The way is that we don't know how to do it, but we figure it out with the help of God. Guys, see you in the next one. Stay tuned. Guys, write me in the comments what is the takeaway from the video. Your comments are mean it's a lot because it shows support. It shows that you guys are following up and that you're learning something. It gives me the energy and the boost to keep making these videos and bringing you new topics. Okay. Other than that, enjoy the channel, subscribe, share it with a friend. See you in the next one.